Yes, I'm bopping to the music in my head that's playing there. I love Imagine Dragons. So, hi. Can you hear it? I can hear it. I think they got me sick. I think they got me sick. I hope I'm not sick. Although, The Crown, Season 5, is back. I love the show. I love the show. So, I have a special guest on today, and we're going to talk about. We're both two completely different human beings who live on this planet that we call Earth. And she deals with her own issues, and I'm going to let her talk to you about her issues. Now, mind you, I'm not going to be a fully wellness channel because that kind of gets boring. But at the same time, I want to keep all of this conversation going because there are a lot of people in the world who do not understand what people are going through. And maybe if somebody is there to talk to you, explain to you what it is. Hi, sweetie. There she is. That's paste. There we go. My bad. Forgot to put it in the chat. So, I got some 80s music in the background. So, like, Sugar Hill Gang, right? Echo. End. Or I will be completely confused all the time. Because I can only listen to one thing at a time. So, Echo. End. Oh, there she is. Hi,
sweetie. Hey, sweetie. How you
doing? I might not be doing too well.
Yeah, I just got your voice note. I'm like, oh no.
See, I was, my oldest was sick starting Sunday.
Yeah.
And she is not a sickie. Like, she's not one of my sick ones. So, when she got it and I'm holding her hair back, I'm like, I'm screwed. I'm so screwed. As long as I don't end up in a hospital, I'll be grateful for that.
Let's hope that you don't end up there again.
I don't want to. That is not where I want to be.
No,
who wants to be locked up on a bed that you can't get out of? Nobody.
No, thank you. Nope.
my daughter was like, Mom, Sophia, a friend of ours who I'm friends with her mother, is asking me to come over. Can I go? No. You're sick still. Even though we got your hair cut, we went to Wegmans, that's all you can handle for today. And then we move on as time comes closer. Yeah. Let me see the hair. Looks beautiful, girl.
I literally went from having my hair earlier today was halfway down my waist. It was literally like down.
Gemma? Hey, Cement Shoes. Hey, Freeside. Great to see you. Loopy Lisa. She made it.
I literally had it chopped. Like, my hair, like, this morning was, like, down, halfway down my waist. And I've gone from being down here.
How good does it feel?
It's amazing. Like, literally, I can actually feel my shoulders again. I can actually tilt my head back and fall out thinking, oh my God, my head feels heavy. Like,
I'm listening to you. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get my phone to
just... my head and I don't feel like I've got this big, heavy lump of hair. Like, it took 3 hours to get to this.
You look beautiful.
I feel amazing. Like, literally, like, it took 3 hours to go through all my hair and she had to section it and yeah, it took a while and I had to get up and down from the chair and because my hairdresser knows I can't cope with sitting down bolt up.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, can we do this bit? Can we stop? Can we do this bit? Can I stop? And so bless her, she's like, okay.
I have to stop. I'm sorry. I have to acknowledge Loopy Lisa. Loopy Lisa has been my friend as long as you've been my friend on here.
Yeah,
and she is such a good friend to me. She's such a good friend. Her and her partner, Nicole, are just... Nicola is what her name is. Nicola. And Nicola is wonderful. They're both wonderful. So they both said hi.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, Cement Shoes and Freeside. Good to see you guys.
Do you want to hear something really stupid I did to my hand?
Yeah, what did you do, Ginger?
Here I am, you know. I was going to make myself some eggs, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want eggs. Turn the burner off. Decided I went to put something in the microwave. And then I went, my stove is so dirty. And I took a rag and I wiped it. And I wiped it off. As I'm wiping it off, I realized I forgot that there was a hot burner. And I burnt my fingers.
Oh, Ginger, ouch.
It sucks. But, it could be worse. I shoved them under cold water. So that should...
That's a good thing to do. At least you've hopefully not got permanent damage.
I hope not. God.
Just burning yourself, like, I burnt myself a few months ago. I was cooking myself some fries and some other stuff, and I went to grab the tray out the oven, and for some reason my oven glove didn't protect my hand fully, and I grabbed it, and also I felt this like warm sensation go across my hand. I'm like, oh no. Took the glove off, and literally my whole hand was bright red. I'm like, that's gonna sting.
This stings like mother. Yeah. This is not fun. But I must say, Mr. Shannonite, you are not late. You are perfectly on time. Hold on. I got to put my readers on. I'm so blind. Since I started doing this and doing all of this stuff, I'm blind. I'm like, I can't even read unless I have quote unquote. All right. Don't make fun of me because I look old. But I look old.
No, you don't, Ginger. Like, I think it's amazing that you actually do wear glasses. It's
These aren't real glasses. These are only readers. You can buy these at the local, like, supermarket and stuff.
Yeah.
That help you, like, I just don't want to go to another doctor.
No.
That's my biggest problem. I just don't need another doctor in my life.
No, I know you do so well, like, coping with everything that you have to go through, and it's inspiring. Like, when I see you stream and you're coming back to YouTube and doing things, I'm like...
And see, you call me aspiring, I think you're inspiring. That's what's crazy, because I do find you completely. And you and I have had a discussion that I've had a nephew. I have a nephew who is nonverbal. And it's very hard to understand what's going on. Me being the aunt, I'm never there. So I can't, it's my sister. So I only get what I can from her.
Yeah.
So, and I've grown, there are certain things I've watched on TV to understand autism on a place where I would never understand it. And how would you, and I'm sure every autistic person, just like every person, is different.
Yeah.
What is it that helps keep you in better mind and body so you're not fixated on the negative? Because being negative is very easily to follow.
Oh, yeah. I think for me, I've learned over the years since being on social media that there's coping strategies I have. So usually I use things like music to divert myself, or I'll write my poetry, or I'll read. I love to read books. I'm a very avid reader. I love to read books.
Really?
And people, like, they look at me, they go, "You read? Really?" And I'm like,
no, that's not what I meant. When I meant really, that you, like, for me, sitting down and reading a book is it's like a huge workload that I can't handle.
yeah.
Reading has always been very difficult for me. But
yeah. I find it really relaxing, because it's like, for me especially, I do it before bedtime usually. That I'll settle down with a good book, and then I end up reading probably maybe 3 or 4 pages before I fall asleep, and then I wake up in the morning and my book's upside down. I'm like, where did I get to? And I have to sort of skip back and go, oh, I remember that. Oh, I don't remember that bit. So I'm like, I now have a bookmark in my books that I'm reading. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm at this
Yeah,
page.
see, now I can't take these off now because I'm like, I can see things way too clearly. If I take them off, they're so blurry. Like, I have to keep the readers on as much as I don't want to.
Yeah, you look really smart with them, and I think each person has different like things that they use to help themselves. Like if it's not reading that I do, it's music, or I try and find a
That
helpful.
is that is my biggest healer is music.
Oh yeah,
I would die without it. I would, and extreme, and which I have been taken away from, and I would say 4 years, is
yeah,
going to see it live.
yeah.
Like
I'm
there's a
quite lucky. I've been able to go and see some live music in the last few months, so it's actually really been beneficial for me to go outside and do things. It's been really helpful.
it's it's been a struggle for me to try to stay in a positive mind,
Oh
especially
yeah,
when you're put in the hospital as many
yeah,
times as I have. And I said to my nurses, and I'm like, they all know, like the people who have had me in the hospital have had me before, so they know me,
yeah.
and so they're just they get me. They get that I'm not like a normal everyday person. They
Normal doesn't
get
exist.
no normal, and you and I were just talking. Normal does not exist. What is normal? People who conform to whatever it is that they're told to do.
It's the stupid government media stereotypical label to make us conform or to make us believe that we have to do as are told, and it's like, well,
And
no,
that's not even the United States speaking, y'all. Just
like
saying.
no,
Just
it's like
saying.
I'm not normal. Like when people say to me, "Oh, Gemma, you're so normal," I'm like, one, that's insulting me. Two, don't say that to me because I'm not normal. I'm neurodiverse. I don't identify as normal. So you're trying to make me conform to this box that you want me to be in, this label you want me to have because you want me to be this person who doesn't struggle, doesn't get overloaded, doesn't have chronic anxiety, depression problems. No, no, it's just not going to happen.
Good.
Ever.
I'm because growing up, like I'm a Gen X. I'm the older one in the house right now, and I'm okay with that. Which normally I'm the youngest one in the house, so that's why I'm like I'm not normal. I'm not normally the older person in the house. But you and I feel like we've communicated on such a deeper level as
Oh
friends,
yeah, yeah,
and
absolutely.
having a nephew who's so on the spectrum to a point where he can't speak, it means the world that I can talk to you.
Yeah, because I've got friends who are non-verbal too, and I think people underestimate people who are non-verbal on the spectrum. They assume
Yep,
just because they might not be physically verbal like I am, or able to get my words out in such a way, people go, "Oh wow, you're really cool and you're functioning," and I'm like, "Yeah, but don't forget about the guys who can't function and the guys who can't talk because just because they don't have a mouthpiece to speak doesn't mean they have nothing to say. They communicate by
correct.
other means. So you've got sign language, you've got Makaton, you've got text to speech that a lot of them will use because they can type what they want to say and then it repeats it to the people who need to hear it. And people are like, oh, but I thought they had nothing to say.
They're brilliant. No,
That's
no,
all.
and that's what's, they're so brilliant.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's like I say to people all the time: don't underestimate the non-verbal people on the spectrum because, in actual fact, they're more powerful advocates than what I am because I can advocate from both sides. But at the same point, I'm like, I can only get advocate so far because I'm not non-verbal. I only go non-verbal when I have my meltdowns, which is about once every couple of months now. I have it under better control, but I don't be non-verbal all the time, so I don't know what it's like for someone who's non-verbal 24 hours of the day. So I can only talk unlimited funds on that because it's I don't have that knowledge. But at the same point, I've had friends who are non-verbal, and when I communicate for them, a lot of them will email me. They're like, "Oh, I can't believe you spoke up for me. I can't believe you did that." I'm like, "Well, yeah, because because you're not able to verbalize what you want to say doesn't mean you don't matter. So I have to make sure that I include them because they do have a voice.
They
They're just
do.
verbally able to do it.
And see, this is what I appreciate the most about you, is because I cannot connect with him on a nonverbal. As a matter of fact, when we do go over to my sister's house, he kind of
Yeah.
retreats to his room.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of the stimulant of everybody
Stimuli,
being
yeah.
there. Because
There's several reasons why he could do it, but yeah.
he also has seizures.
That's very common.
Yeah.
In actual fact, in the UK, they say in the UK for autism and seizures, it's between 40 to 60% of the autistic population will have a form of epilepsy or seizure disorders. So it is very, very common over here. I'm not sure
And that's weird because I don't have a child who is on the spectrum. My sister does, and she's not very vocal. I'm like the vocal family person, and so if it was up to them, I'm sure what I would say would never come out of my mouth because they want to not hide the fact, they want to give him privacy. That's what she wants. She wants to give him all the privacy, and I totally get that part.
Yeah, I get it. I totally.
But I also, there are times where I can't communicate, and I know that. And it's just coming from someone like, someone who does suffer on a spectrum from it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say suffer, that's the wrong word.
No, but I know what you mean. A lot of people do say that to me. They're like, Gemma, well, you suffer all the time. You have such a bad experience with it. I'm like, well, no, because there's things I know to do better to stop a lot of my overload. There's a lot of stuff I've learned to go, no, that's a trigger. I'm not going to let that control me. Therefore, if I do A, B, C to stop it, then I'm not going to shut myself away and go, oh, no, can't cope. I need to be able to be active and talking to people. If I keep shutting myself away, it leads me to more deep isolation and anxiety. Then my depression kicks in. So the more I keep giving into it, it gets worse.
I agree with you on that. I think the more you keep in, the worse you get. And I'm a very outspoken, upbeat, want to be out and about. And see, I'm getting to a part in my life where it's just not working out that well because of my back and then my stomach, because I can't eat and drink like a normal person. It's just a weird situation.
You're not normal, Ginger. This is the thing. Like
Once again, the word normal.
The word normal is absolutely ridiculous. It should never ever be used to anyone, regardless if you're disabled or not. It's a word that irritates me because by the end of the day, you are uniquely gifted. You have a unique way of seeing the world, as I do, and I wish people would educate themselves. Go, maybe I shouldn't use that word to you because we're not normal. Nobody is. We all have a different way of being created, and I wish people would accept that because we are all different. That's what
we are all different, absolutely. And I find it hard for people not to think that. Because how can you not look at the world and go, holy shit, we're a whole different group of people that would never, like, I would have never met you if it wasn't for YouTube.
No.
I would have never met Loopy Lisa, or I would have never met Mr. Shannonite if it wasn't for YouTube. And I know that I shit on this place a lot, but there's a lot I don't give it credit for meeting the wonderful people who I've gotten to know on this avenue.
Yeah, YouTube is brilliant for a lot of people. Like for me, this is a form of therapy. It's a form of escape. It's a form of being able to express myself.
Same. I don't, unless I'm out with my kids, or like tomorrow we're supposed to go to a party. My throat's been bothering me. It's been scratchy. And this is how everybody's flu started. So I'm like, please God, not me, not this time. Just don't give it to me. But I got this scratchy, froggy voice, and I'm hoping that's all it stays to. I can deal with that.
Yeah, that's how I started before I got COVID. It's like my throat went all scratchy, itchy, then I had the headache. I'm like, oh oh boy. And then boom.
That's what happened to me. It was the headache. I'm like, oh my God. I was in the hospital. I'm like, this headache. And then you're like, oh. And I went, and I coughed. And when I coughed, I had that phlegmy. I'm like, crap. Right then and there, I knew I had it. I knew. And that was before there was ever any Pfizer or Moderna. Oh, wait. I don't know what the brands who are selling the booster shots in England are. But we have Pfizer and
Yeah, we
Moderna here.
have Pfizer, Moderna, and we then started having the Johnson and Johnson, but it got banned.
No. It got banned?
Yeah, they banned
Why?
it. They said because, well, people were complaining they were getting blood clots and sicknesses, and people were saying, oh, we don't want to trust it. It's come from the US and it's not been tested here. We don't trust it. And it got banned within like 6 months.
It was never banned here. You can still get it. And here's the killer. Here's the kicker. My brother-in-law works for Johnson and Johnson. I'm like, oh, okay. But see, my husband didn't want to have to go 2 different times, so he was lazy. And he's like, I'm just going to go once, and I'm going to get the Johnson & Johnson. Go for it. Go get the Johnson & Johnson. I got Pfizer. I'm very happy with Pfizer. And he wound up getting COVID so badly. And I'm like, I told you, it's no better.
Yeah, I've had both. I had the Pfizer for my first 2, and then I went and had the Moderna first boost, and that's when I felt ill after the boost. And I was like, yeah, that didn't go down. Hang it with Mr. J. He's been around. You know what? It's very weird. It's like, I would still watch what's going on YouTube, but there's a lot of drama that I do not want to be a part of. I'm trying to avoid the drama as best as I can. I know there's been a few
It's freaking hard.
Like,
there's drama everywhere on this place.
YouTube is full of it lately. I think there seems to be something around people being angry at each other, or there's something that's said and then it gets twisted into
something they never said in the beginning.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like boom, 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 all these streams are coming out, and I'm like, what the hell? I don't get it. I don't understand why people are kicking off so bad. I'm just like, nope, I don't need it. I've been ill. I don't want to be stressed. No, thank you.
Exactly, and that's what it is for me. And see, over here, everybody has the right to choose what they want to do.
Yeah.
And what they don't. I respect that. Regardless if it's a vaccination or whatever it may be that keeps people from doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I've always respected that. And then now it's become like a big, if you don't take the booster, if you don't take the vaccine, you're this, that, and another thing. There was a girl who was friends with one of my closest friends. And she wound up passing away from COVID. And her husband,
sad.
Her husband was okay with it. And the reason why was because she didn't want to have it any other way. He's like, this is what she wanted. This was what she asked for. And she had a very paranoia feeling about being vaxxed. And I find that in a lot of people. It's a crazy, like, they're afraid.
I was very against it at first.
Hey, Nerdettes! Good to see you!
Started offering the vaccines and stuff. I was like, nope.
Hi, Joy. Good to see you, Joy. We just had Joy and Nerdettes newsstand join. My voice is...
I was fully against having the vaccine of any kind. I tell my parents, I'm like, nope, not doing it, not having it, don't want it. I just don't want it. And then I end up giving in. I'm like, oh.
I got the vaccine. We all got the vaccine. I just don't feel the need for a booster.
No.
I had it twice. I already had it twice. And trust me, everybody has their own opinion on how they feel about being vaccinated. And I respect that.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
respect that completely. I respect the people who are like, how could you, I just don't want to get something else shoved in my body. Once again, not like wanting to go to another doctor. I don't want another thing. You
No,
know what I
I
mean?
totally get that. I understand that. I think a lot of people have been wary. I think, especially for people like us who have lower immune systems, I'm just not willing to put my body through anything else. And I think people need to realise, look, it's a personal opinion or perspective. You either have it or you don't. And I'm just not willing to go through potentially being ill again. I just don't want it. I'm like, nope,
I don't know, and I am with you on that part. Like I would never want that again. But here's my question that I ask about it, and my God, my probably stream is going to be taken down. But my question that I have is, how is like I know COVID is different, but how different? And I know that it has killed tons of people who shouldn't be dead. They shouldn't
yeah,
be.
I think a lot of people who have passed away from it has had either underlying stuff or they've had issues. I know there's a few footballers in my local home football team who have come down with heart problems or have come down with other respiratory issues. I'm like, this seems a bit weird. I'm like, nope, I'm done.
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at Mr. Shannonite's last message. He writes, most people usually get jobs after meeting me. Must have something to do with my animal. What does it say? Magnetism.
Hey, Ems.
Ems! Now, let me tell you something about her. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't know how to hide the under blackness that I get here or like some of the spots that I get on my face from the sun. So, Ems, thank you. It's because of you I've learned how to blend. She taught me everything when it came to makeup. I sucked at makeup when I met her. Like, I would like rub it on. I'm like, but with that being said, like, so many people on here has had such a positive effect. Not, I'm going to be honest, not many people are negative. To me, at least.
No.
I've had it. But I prefer to see people in the way that I prefer to see them, like, and that is good people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends who you hang around with. Like, the more good people you find, the more genuine people you find on here, the better you are to have discussions with people. But I think sometimes when you get mixed up with the drama or you get dragged into drama, it kind of, people tend to attach negative thoughts or feelings. They go, oh, well, you're meant to be a good person, but here you are on a drama stream, and it's like, well, no, that person's my friend. Like, this isn't a hate stream or drama stream. It's just I'm here to support my friend.
Right, right. And some people don't understand that. Like, I'll go into other people's chats sometimes just because I love the people that they have.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm taking one side or another side. It just means there are certain people that I found, yes, in the DC, in the drama community, that are great, wonderful people. I
Yeah,
mean,
I've made some good friends from the drama community. I'm going to admit it. I've got some really good friends that I talk to. So,
and Joy Lang is here. I love it. And now see, Joy's been through it. Joy, I believe her husband passed away right when everything was really, really crazy, when everything was blowing up. And she has a special place in my heart because I understand what it was like for people back then, 2 years ago, where you couldn't go in and visit somebody. You couldn't even visit anyone in the hospital. I've been in the hospital for months and months and months. The only person who came to visit me in the hospital, and I wouldn't have it any other way, was my husband.
yeah,
Everybody else, stay away, because it was that I was laying in the hallway the last time I was just in, which was the beginning of September, or beginning of October. Take that back, beginning of October.
Yeah.
I went in. I wound up getting so sick from the flu, just the flu.
Yeah.
I didn't, I'm in, I was laying in the ER for 36 hours, bright lights on my face all time. Torture. It was freaking torture. I'm like, I can handle it. I can handle this. And I'm like, no. My body just went, no, you can't. And I just started throwing up. And I said to them, like, if someone doesn't bring me a bag, and I screamed this over the whole ER because I was dead
Yeah.
serious. If someone didn't bring me a bag, it was going to go everywhere, all over the floor, and it wasn't going all over me.
No.
I wasn't worried about that part. I'm like, if y'all can't help me, I'm just going to puke on your floor. And then they're like, oh, you need to go into the lavatory, which was a public one. I don't know if you've ever been that sick and been in a... It was nasty. It was just
Yeah.
gross. It was so gross. And that was, my mom wound up coming down with it. Now, my oldest came down with it Sunday. My
Yeah.
youngest came down with it Tuesday. My husband came down with it Wednesday. My mom came down with it on Wednesday. And everybody was here.
Yeah.
So I felt like shit. I'm like, it's our fault. I'm so sorry. I mean, we didn't know.
It could be the fact that they have lower immune systems, because the flu and stuff affects people easier who have lower immune systems. So it's just potentially their bodies might not have been able to handle it, therefore they've come down with it. I wouldn't necessarily say it was you who gave, or people in your household who
I
gave.
still feel bad.
Yeah, of course, but I wouldn't say it's your fault. It's an airborne thing. It travels within people anyway. So
I'm sorry. Loopy Lisa and the wee and the smell of the wee.
yeah, Lisa, I know. Like when I've been in hospital, when I used to.
Oh, she's talking about the hospital. Okay. Oh, yes, the smell of the wee is bad. Ooh. Yes,
I used to work in my local hospital, and I've smelled many disgusting things that I never ever want to smell again.
Oh. Yeah, no. And see, where I go to the hospital around here, and I went to my rheumatologist, this is starting to hurt me more, which is now starting to get me really upset. I just took a swallow. I'm like, son of a bitch. I better not. I have a party tomorrow. I have a friend coming on Sunday. I have no time for the flu. None. No time. It better not show its face. I don't want it.
No, let's hope you haven't got it. Let's just hope
Oh
you.
God. I'm just praying it's a bad cold. Bad cold I can handle.
Yeah, let's hope that it doesn't.
Oh, we have Matthew. I don't know if I think I've ever seen you before, but welcome. And you do lives, then wonderful. I can't wait to find your live and listen to what
I've
you
known
have to
Matthew
say.
for a while.
Really? Okay. I don't.
Yeah,
Do I?
Matthew's been part of my channel community for quite a long time.
Matthew, if we've met each other and I don't remember, please don't take it to heart because it's just my life that I tend to forget things.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I've known Matthew for at least a good couple of 3 years by now, I think.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah, Matthew's been a supporter of mine for quite a long time. So
So here's my question to you. What are the certain things that you do for yourself that make you feel better? You
yeah. So for me,
selfishly.
yeah. So for me, it's usually music, or like when I've been feeling a bit crappy recently, I've been finding that eating chocolate or ice cream has really been helping me feel better, because at least it's
It
something
does everybody feel better.
that helps my throat. Especially, I've had a lot of throat issues, and I'm like, okay, I'll just eat cold food. I'll eat ice cream and things that make me feel better. So I've been doing that, and I find also coming off social media a little bit. Like during when I had COVID recently, so you know what, I'm not well enough to go on social media. I don't feel well. I'm just going to take a few days off and just watch movies. And that's all I've done. I literally kicked back here on my couch, put my blanket on, put my pillows behind my head.
Do you know what I've been watching to make me feel better? The Crown.
Okay.
I love
Carla.
everything about the Royals. Loopy
Wow,
Lisa
I love
knows.
your series.
Carla!
Hey, Carla, how you doing, hon? Good to
Hey,
see you.
look, I want to put this in. Anybody who wants to come up can come up. We're just kind of hanging out. It's Saturday night. I mean, it's pouring rain here.
Yeah, it's been raining here on and off all day, pretty much.
It's so poor here. It's really poor. It's the rain, and I took my oldest out to get her hair cut, and that's all she wanted. So I'm like, all right, if we can get your hair cut, and I have going to a Auntie May, how are you? There's a lot of people I haven't seen in a while. Auntie May and I live closer to each other than, let's say, most people. We probably
wow.
live within a 30 to 40 minute an area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Not
Yeah.
Saturday night. Well, no, it's Friday night.
Yeah, it's Friday here.
I thought it was Saturday.
It's heading towards Saturday for me, but yeah.
You're closer to Saturday than me. I'm like, it's Saturday.
Yeah.
And I see Carla. It's not Saturday. I'm like,
It's like
what freaking day is it?
I'm actually going to be recording a video because tomorrow I'm going to the local soccer match. I've got my tickets in the mail today
Where are you going?
to watch a soccer match, football.
What's the name of the team?
Ipswich Town, my local home team. This is the official little mail tickets they mail out in a little envelope, and it's got the Ipswich Town stamp on the top. So I'm going to watch a soccer game. Me, my nephew, and my sister's partner are going together tomorrow to watch football. Or you guys?
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, I'm going to film a video showing you inside the stadium and stuff like that. So I'm going to put that.
We have someone who's here who says that he's the old one. I disagree. Hi, Matthew.
Hi, what's up?
How are you?
I was just taking a long nap, you know?
Naps are good. I can't do that.
Oh yeah, I've done that a
Yeah,
lot.
I've been working since every week and I'm tired.
What do you do?
Yeah,
What do you do for a job?
I'm janitorial. I really don't like being a janitor.
I get that. I can understand that.
But
don't
next
think
year
cleaning-
I'm going to get a new job working at the airport.
What do you want to do at the airport?
Just want to check in people for flights, anything else like that. It's a lot
Okay.
to do, so
What? All right, no. I was about to be like, which airport do you live closest to? Don't answer that, because God knows that there's many crazy people in this place. So
only I know. God knows that I go to the Norfolk International, but that's a small one.
yeah, I'm closer to and this is a very small one. Is Trenton, but if you go north, it would be Newark. If you go south, it would be Philly. So
Oh, wait, you in Newark, New Jersey?
no, I'm in. Oh, I almost just told you. Woo!
Well,
Glad I
would
caught
know
myself.
that because I know a lot of airport codes around here. So,
Are you in the New Jersey area?
no, I'm in VA.
Oh, okay. You're in Virginia. Yeah, I'm in Jersey. So, I mean, I'm actually.
Well, I heard that I think Newark is not going to be an airport now. I think they're going to change it to something else. I don't
Lisa,
know what's
hit
going to
the
happen.
hit the link. I think it's in the chat.
Oh, let's put it in for Lisa. Oh, I'm glad she's coming up.
She says,
She's
"Can
wonderful.
she pop in and say hi?" So I think she wants to.
You can do whatever you want. So, okay, I'm sorry, Matthew.
Yeah, so like I said, I think Newark is not going to be an airport now. I think they'll change it. I don't know what's going to happen, so that's what I know of.
Hey, Lisa.
Newark Airport?
Hello.
Like Newark, New Jersey is not going to be an airport? Hi, Lisa.
No,
I'm
it's
Hello.
not. If you're not, look it on the news. Or there's a YouTube video about that if you want to look that up.
I will. I will, because that's a huge hub for us. Huge. That would be crazy. Hi, Lisa.
Hello, my gorgeous lady. How are you doing?
I'm blind. How are
Oh
you?
no, don't say that. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm good. I've been at work, so I'm having a couple of drinks. I don't have to be back in until tomorrow night. So
Oh,
yay.
that's good. Yay. Lisa, have you met Matthew before?
Matthew, no, I don't think so. Have we?
Oh, hi, how you doing, Lisa?
Hello, hi Matthew. How are you doing?
Good.
Good.
I like your Snapchat picture, anyways.
Oh, thank you.
I like your Snapchat picture too.
Thanks.
But even though I don't do Snapchat photos, even though I do have an account, I've got all sorts of that media, but I don't do TikTok.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do TikTok, but I understand why people don't. I do. It can suck you in. But I will have to say, as someone who creates on TikTok, it's a fun avenue to just create on that you don't have to be worried about copyright, this and that and that and this. Although they can be extremely strict.
yeah.
They're
I used to
beyond
like
strict.
TikTok until I think it was like a couple of years ago, and I was on there just browsing, watching some autism TikToks that I was following, and then this autism dance challenge started happening. And at first, it's meant to be a kind of a awareness charity thing, and then all of a sudden, all these autism dance challenge videos got uploaded, and it's people with autism being beaten up and mocked and bullied, and
What?
there was two girls from the States who actually are in jail now because one of the girls filmed herself kicking her autistic sister in the side of the head, and someone reported it. She got put in prison.
Oh my God.
The challenge ended up having a lot of the autistic and disabled community doing videos on YouTube and other social media platforms saying, look, take this challenge down, stop it, take it
Yes.
down. And TikTok at first like, no, it's freedom of expression, creators can do what they want, and we're like, no, they can't. This is bullying, this is harassment, this is bad, this is real bad. And then a lot of the autistic community were like, well, we'll leave TikTok then. If you don't take these down, we'll leave. And all of a sudden, boom.
And TikTok is beyond strict. Beyond strict. Like, even if they think, like, I posted up a video the other day, and it's friends who slapped each other, like, across the face. And I was like, am I going to get this taken down because of this? And I'm like, shouldn't be, because it's not negatively. It's just two people being silly.
Was that
But-
the tortilla? Was that the tortilla thing?
Oh no, wrong one.
They are
But I just put one up.
they are quite funny, those ones. I know, that's right.
I had sent her a couple of TikToks where people were slapping each other with
Yes,
tortillas,
tortillas,
but they
yeah.
had water in their mouth. So if you got slapped hard enough, it came
Yeah.
flying.
That's the one.
Yeah, I like that to be
They're
funny.
the
Yeah.
ones.
They were funny. I will
They were-
admit, they were funny.
Yeah.
So how are you today, Lisa?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I did want to kind of weigh in on the autism thing because I've got two stepbrothers that are autistic. They're in different places on the spectrum. One is quite severely autistic, and the other one is not quite so much. They're different places on the spectrum. But
Yeah.
what I was going to say was that I also have a really good friend that has an autistic son, and he does have meltdowns. He does, and it's always when she's out. It's in the supermarket, or it's somewhere.
It's almost kind of like out of discomfort.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
what-
a meltdown happens for several reasons. You've got, usually it's to do with the over stimuli of auditory
Yeah.
processing. It
Absolutely.
can be to do with high anxiety.
Yeah.
It can be to do with a trigger that's been building and building
Yeah.
and building up to a point
Yeah, yeah.
where the brain just goes, had enough,
Yeah.
bang, and then all
Yeah.
of a sudden you just kind of withdraw and shut down. Like for me, it's usually when, like recently when I had my last meltdown, just someone sent me an article about autism cures, and that I went mental. I was like, what the actual? And my brain just went, oh no, oh
Yeah.
no, oh no, bang, and I
Yeah.
exploded. I was like,
It's
But
not
what-
something that you intend to do.
But what I was going to say about this, because it would usually be in a public place that her son has his meltdown. But she's an amazing mum. She's incredible, and so good with her son, who does have meltdowns. What really upsets her is the ignorance of people around her that don't seem to understand that this
yeah.
isn't something. And she's been so low. I've seen her so upset and so low because, of course, they think that she's a bad mum. She absolutely is not.
Right.
Absolutely is
Absolutely
not.
not. Yeah.
Has nothing
No.
to do with being a bad
No,
mom or a good mom.
absolutely not. But that's how she feels. People, particularly, it seems to be older.
People suck.
Yeah.
They
See,
really do.
They judge her on this, and it's not his fault.
Yeah,
It's not his fault, and
No,
that
it's
really
not.
upsets me. And that really, I just think it's really people need to stop being so close-minded to these things and
Absolutely right.
understand.
Yeah. Meltdowns are one of the worst things in autism that people pick on because they think that, I was saying this to Ginger earlier in private messages, that people assume either you're a spoilt brat, you're having a tantrum, you're throwing your parts on, you're wanting attention all the time.
They said this to her. I know, it's awful.
It's awful.
And I've had this thrown at me before when I've been out in public and I've had people look at me, or I've had someone say to me a few months ago, and I did a talk in public for the first time, and I got a bit heightened, I was a bit anxious, I'm like going back and forwards, pacing. This woman comes up to me, she goes, "Can you control yourself? You're looking like an embarrassment." I was like,
I would throat punch her. I'm
like, you do realise that I actually have a mental condition. I said, I'm autistic. I said, I'm not feeling very well. I'm trying to calm myself down. And she goes, "You're frightening people." I'm like, I'm trying to calm down.
Oh, that's really going to help you, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's so helpful.
Yeah.
Especially if you're having a meltdown.
The ignorance is shocking. Like I went to the store the other day and there was this autistic boy. I knew he's autistic just by looking at him, his mannerisms, the way he's acting, and he was on the floor shaking. He was his arms like this on his head. And I'm like, okay.
Oh man.
And his mum was standing there effing and blinding at him. She's like, "Get off the floor, do this now," and cussing at him. And you can see him going like this, and he was not coping. I said to her, I went, "Do you realise what you're doing to him?" I said, "You're belittling him." I said, "He's in a place in hell." I said, "This supermarket's bright." I said, "You've got lights beaming everywhere. You've got the machines beeping all the time." I said, "You've got the cashiers slamming the till shut all the time. You've got people on their phone talking past them, shouting. I said, that's too much for him. I said, he's wanting to explode, but he can't. So therefore, he's put himself on the floor to try and self-soothe himself. I said, all you're doing is making him feel like a total utter idiot." And she goes, "Oh, he's being a spoiled brat." No.
Well, maybe she hadn't had a diagnosis. Maybe she was in denial, maybe about stuff.
Hold on one second. Hey, Matthew, can you put your TV on mute? The only reason why I ask that is because I hear your TV, and if they get
first
that.
Of all, I'm on a radio because I got a lot of tornadoes coming up tonight. So if you
tornadoes.
Yeah, so if you could ask not to mute my mic, it gets me crazy.
Okay, that's fine. At least I know, because I couldn't hear. That was the only reason why we'd have to mute.
Yeah, because otherwise if I don't have this on, it scares me if it goes off. So it's very loud. So.
Oh, I understand. Okay.
I understand what Lisa's saying, because again, it's the assumption that people lack the research to find out about autism. They hear all the negative stuff in the media. It's like, oh well, they're out of control, they're bad behaved, they misbehave on purpose. No. And
Gemma, I think it's ignorance. I think
it is. Yeah,
minded, and they
She's
don't
right.
understand. And sometimes you need to people are different. There are all sorts of different people and different things that are good. And just be open-minded to it and think, actually, maybe it's not their fault. And it makes me so angry. It makes me so angry that people are so close-minded and just think, oh, they're spoiled, oh, they're this, and they make their own minds up about stuff that they know nothing about. And it just makes me angry. Yeah, it makes me angry.
It's because people are scared by what they see online. They're scared by seeing people act a certain way. But with me, before I got diagnosed, I would have a lot of meltdowns. People go, "Oh, Gemma's just being weird, she's acting out, she's wanting attention. It's poor Gemma all the time. And I'm like, I didn't know I was autistic until I got diagnosed. I kind of didn't know much about it.
How
And then-
old were you when you got diagnosed?
25.
25.
I'm now 34, so yeah.
So,
I'm-
so Gemma, was there an idea? Did your parents think that there was something different? Or
Yeah,
early on, or-
my mum knew for quite a long time that there was something not quite right with me because I wasn't hitting certain milestones. I had speech issues. I was very fussy with my food. I still am.
Yeah.
And my mum kind of looked stuff up. She's like, fussy with food. Okay, doesn't do eye contact. Doesn't do body language. Is very awkward around crowds. Doesn't like high pitched noises. And it wasn't till she started sending me all these listed symptoms when she was looking into it. And she's like, Gemma, this is you. Look at all these boxes. And I'm like, what? And she goes, look, loud noise you don't like, crowds you don't like, you have high anxiety all the time, constantly acting like you're depressed. I'm like, okay. And then when I started looking into it more myself and I saw the female traits, I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
that is me. I do get anxious. I don't do crowds that well. I constantly have to have headphones on or
Yeah.
be away from crowds as quick as I can because my brain just goes, uh-oh. And by the time I get to that point, I'm really too gone to calm myself down. And whereas now, I'm like, why did the UK not help me enough? Like, I went to the doctors so many times over the years where my parents are both told, oh no, Gemma's not autistic. She's not nothing mentally wrong with her. She's just got a bit of depression. She'll get over it. And my mum's like, no, she's not depressed. And it took me 4 years altogether to get an assessment and diagnosis.
So from your point of view, Gemma, do you think? I don't know how old you are now, but do you?
I'm
think,
34 now.
Okay, so do you think? So you're talking about 10 years, aren't you? Do you reckon? Do you reckon that things are better now as far as diagnosis and as far as understanding?
I think the
Everything?
understanding's got better, yes, but the access to diagnosis, no. Especially my part of the UK anyway, because from what I gathered, from what I spoke to my social worker day before yesterday, and she said to me that the current wait for an adult assessment is 4 years.
My God.
And I just said to her, that's going to cause massive problems because there isn't enough support for people pre-diagnosis. For me, I had to do 6 months of waiting for a mental health assessment before I even got anywhere for the autism because my mental health doctor was telling me, oh, you're just depressed. It takes a while for you to get better. And I'm like, no, I'm not depressed.
Yeah.
Stop telling me that. And they're like, well, you don't know what depression is. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm not stupid, people.
No.
And see, unfortunately, there are a lot of doctors who are out there who don't take what we have to say and they want to make their own conclusions in their own heads instead of us going, hey, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And they don't listen.
I just
I'm female. It's like, oh, you can't be autistic because you're too female, you're too functioning. What?
I just think people need to stop being so ignorant and blinkered. I think that's the case, and that's the case with any kind of mental health.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I think people need to actually understand that this happens and just stop being so blinkered about everything. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't either.
We you know, it happens, and people just don't. It just makes me angry. I'm sorry.
No.
People are ignorant and rude.
Lisa, like having advocates like you and Ginger and other people that I've met on this platform, it makes it more easy for people like me to be believed because when you have people backing up and going, actually, Gemma is right what she says. She experiences it. She lives with it every day. It makes me feel so much more better. So I'm like, finally, someone gets me.
Yeah.
They get my struggle. They don't think I'm mental or stupid or... I've been called brain damaged. I've been called the R word, which I'm not going to repeat.
Yeah, I know.
I hate that word.
I hate that word.
I've been called cursed, poisoned. I've been told by people online that my parents should have aborted me.
You
Oh
can
my
never
God.
listen to those a-holes on this
No.
avenue because
No.
they will do anything to tear you down.
It's just ignorance, Gemma. It's pure ignorance.
Yeah, I
People
know
just
that.
They have no clue.
and they're not willing to learn. They're not willing to understand, and that's their
Oh,
issue. That's not your issue. That's their issue.
Agreed. I agree
It's
with
like,
her.
I'm used to it. Like, I've had like people say to me, even like professionals. I've been training professionals, especially within the NHS here in the UK, for over 6 years, and still I get the most stupidest comments said to me from high upgrade psychiatric doctors, A&E doctors, consultant children's doctors. Like they'll tell me, "Oh, you can't be autistic because you don't scream and shout and yell, and you don't smash your head and hurt yourself." And I'm like, that's a tiny minority of us that hurt ourselves, tiny. And because
Tiny.
you
There's a-
assume that I'm not
there's a-
one of them, I can't have it.
There's a spectrum. That's the whole point
Yeah.
of the spectrum. Is
Right.
that yes, there are very, very, that one end of the spectrum is very different to the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. And I
Agreed.
can't believe that doctors, medical professionals are saying that. That's insane.
I don't find that insane, though. Actually, I don't find that insane because I have explained and talked to doctors about how I feel, and yet they want to put me in the same box as being someone who's complaining about pain and someone who wants pain medication when I've never asked for pain medication. So when you
Really?
oh, yeah. It's bad here.
Okay.
Sorry, I sound very froggy.
No, you said no, you don't. And I'll tell you what, I have to say, you look amazing.
I got
You
my
look
bangs
really
cut.
good. You look really good. I like
The
glasses.
bangs.
You look good.
Yeah, she does. I did
She
tell her
does,
that
yeah.
earlier.
Thank
I did say
you.
that to
You
her
look
earlier.
fabulous.
I wish the whole house, Lisa, has been sick with the flu, right?
Yeah.
Grace came down with it Sunday, Alexa Tuesday, Jason Wednesday.
Yeah.
Grace and Alexa are much better, but Jason's still down, and I'm like getting this frog in my throat, and I'm like, crap.
No. Oh no.
I don't want it.
You haven't.
I don't have it. Yes, no, it's all in my brain.
Yeah, I understand why you do have the doubts though, because you've had it in your house, so it's.
Hello, Kermit Z Frog. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Kermit Z Frog's always in Mallory at Random's.
Hi,
Chat.
Kermit.
Hi,
Can I just say, Gemma, I love your hair as well. Your
Doesn't
hair-
her hair look great?
I've literally, this is the shortest I've been in quite a long time. Like, I
It's
literally
really good.
went from
It's
being
very-
down here to up here. So
It's beautiful.
It's very shiny.
yeah,
It is
and
shiny.
Yeah.
My cousin's girlfriend, she's a hairdresser, and she has an autistic brother who is severe autistic. And I talked to her a lot about my issues, and she said to me, I hear that you've not had a hairdresser for a while. And I was like, no, I haven't, because the last one accused me of fidgeting too much, and she was quite rude to me.
Oh.
She went, oh, you do know I'm a hairdresser, right? I was like, no. She went, so the first haircut she done on me, she did just a basic trim, and she didn't charge me. She's like, how about you become my client? She went, book anytime you want, name the day, time, and I'll do your hair. I was like, okay. And after the second time of doing my hair, this is now the 5th time I've been to her, and she's perfect. She knows that
She does a great job.
She
She
turns
does.
off like, the lights. Like, she lets me book a morning slot. She let me be the only one in the salon, and she knows what drink I like. She's aware of my sensitivities to noise and people, and she's very, very respectful. And me and her just gel. We get on so well. And I sit there for hours and talk to her about random everyday stuff. And she's like, see, why do people think autistic people are so bad and awkward? And I've had these chats where, like, I'm having with you two now, and we just banter so much and have a laugh with each other.
Sorry,
So-
Matthew.
Can I ask you a question, Gemma? If
Yeah,
you don't mind.
I don't mind.
But you don't have to answer, obviously. But I just wondered if you were on any kind of medication or anything. That...
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm on a anxiety mood stabilizer to help with my anxiety. I've been medicated now for 5 and a bit years. I take 35 milligrams a day, so I take 15 in the morning, 15 at night to help my anxiety and my mood stable, because otherwise my depression just goes.
What do you take?
I'm on citalopram, which is a mood stabilizer and
I know
antidepressant tablet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on that for quite a long
How is-
time. Without
how
that,
is
I
that-
would be.
Is that working for you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, the first time I took it, it kind of interacted with me and made me feel really poorly. And I'm like, what the hell? This is meant to be working. And then it took me another 6 months to adjust to it. My doctor said, okay, maybe we put you on too much or lower the dose. So he lowered me from being on 45 a day milligrams, and then he said, right, we'll try 35. And I'm like, okay. And so far, so good. It's still working. So
Good.
I've been sticking on 35 milligrams a day. So.
And what does that medication do for you, if you don't mind me asking?
It basically controls my mood because of how my autism is. I can't regulate my mood, my mindset. So I don't know what mood I'm in until I hit that certain emotion. So if I'm, say, angry, I might not know that I'm angry up here. I might feel it here. I think, oh,
Right.
I don't feel so good. My brain has to catch up and go, okay, oh, Gemma's angry or Gemma's frustrated. But I don't know it till I kick in that mood set. I'm like, oh, okay, today might be a really bad leave me alone day. And then today could be, oh, actually, I really want to chat. I'm happy. Everything's going well. So the tablet helps me to keep my mood stable so I can actually talk to people and go, oh, when they say to me, how are you? I'm like, actually, yeah, I'm good. I'm happy because I can actually think, oh, I don't have all this constant garbage in my head. Actually, I can say I'm fine because my moods are stabilising. I've got much better over the last 5 years, controlled my medication to a point where I'm like, people don't even realise that I'm on it half the time because I'm able to so function successfully. People like when I say, "Oh, you do realize I'm on medication to control my moods," and they're like, "You're not." I'm like, "Yeah, I am," and I'm so good at people like, "Really, you're on medication?" I'm like, "Yeah," because if I don't, I'll go from being calm I am now to
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, medication is good for some people on the spectrum. I'm not going to say all because some people with autism don't like the fact that they get peddled meds and get told that they have to be on medication. Whereas for me, it works. For me, it's a good thing because if I don't have it, I wouldn't be doing this right now. I wouldn't be
Right.
So for me,
But at least you know that to communicate. A lot of people can't do that. And I think that's what makes you so marvelous for autism is that you can communicate.
Yeah. If it wasn't for my medication and the fact that I'm able to actually be verbal and get my voice out in a way that helps other people, I wouldn't be as good as what I do now. But it's practice. It takes time. It takes commitment. It takes my own knowing of my own levels, what I can and can't do. Some days I do cross my boundaries, think, oh, I've done too much, but I don't know until I think, oh, I'm so tired, or I might feel weak for a few days. I'm like, what did I do? Oh, yesterday I did this. Oh, it's too much. And then I have to just rest myself. But most of the time, I'm good.
So do you get the you get like anxiety and everything as well?
Yeah.
Thing?
I'm on a constant, like what I call a constant kind of high of anxiety. Like my head can go from being calm and everything's good now to I could get triggered by something so silly tomorrow, the next day, and then also I'm boom.
Can you guys? I'll be right back. You two keep talking.
Yeah.
It's
Be right
basically how my brain processes it, and it depends on what I get triggered by. So it could be something silly like someone talks about cures for autism, or they'll send me an article about therapies for autism. I'm like, why would you send me that? And then they know that it will trigger me, and I'm.
Is that who does that? Is that your friends or your family?
I've had family do it. I've had trolls who have got hold of my email and they'll email me about cures and things like bleach for autism and
Oh,
stuff
what?
like that.
Hang on. Bleach.
Yeah, there's a supposed cure that's peddling the internet. It's called MMS, and basically, people in the UK have been done for selling it. It's little bottles of chloride dioxide bleach in a pure form, and it's been injected into children, adults
Oh my
to
God.
supposedly cure their autistic tendencies.
Do you know what? You saying that makes me think. Literally, it took me back to like the 20s or 30s. That's ridiculous. And they say,
Yeah,
so
it gets worse. There's a lot more. That recently, I don't know if you've heard about cooking oil.
no.
Yeah, that's doing the rounds now as well. It's called rapeseed oil, and basically it's been bottled up into little bottles and sold for between 50 to £120 on the internet in the UK, and I think about $200 in the US. And it's being force fed into autistic children and adults to supposedly stop our autistic identity. It's ridiculous.
What the hell? Where is this coming from?
It comes from the US. It comes from a church that's been known, a herbal church that's been known for inappropriate behavior, and they basically peddle these supposed cures and say, if you want your autistic children or loved ones to be cured, here's how to do it. And they sell instruction kits and
Oh my God.
everything. It's gross.
So it's a money making. That's all
Yeah.
it is. It's a money making thing.
Yeah,
It's
what
not.
it is.
That's all it is. Because even me, I have no idea about this kind of thing. But even to me, that sounds absolutely ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's highly dangerous, and it's like there's other therapies or so-called therapies being peddled online, especially one in the US called oxygen chamber therapy, which is basically they put autistic children or autistic adults or adults and children with delayed developmental disabilities into these little chambers, which are about this long by about this thin, and they pressurize them with this oxygen, which is supposedly meant to cure them or limit their disability. And I'm like, that's
fucked up.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
That's just unbelievable. And this is
happening in the US and UK for a long time.
Are we living in the 1950s or something?
That's exactly what I said. I said this takes me right back to people that were being lobotomized for stuff.
Yes,
It's
that's what that.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's also the same as electric shock therapy, ECT. That's being peddled in the
Fuck
US.
that shit. Fuck
And
that
the
shit.
UK, there was actually a school in Germany that actually got shut down not that long ago, who were giving autistic children electric shocks for every time they had meltdowns.
Oh, that's
And I actually
wonderful.
did a video about it, and the video actually got demonetized because YouTube said that I was promoting violence. I was like, no, I wasn't.
Oh my God.
I was talking against violence against autistic children who don't have no family.
Unbelievable. YouTube, do better. Do better, YouTube.
Yeah.
So it got demonetized within the first 5 minutes. They emailed me and said, you're promoting violence and misinformation. I was like, no, I'm not. Here's the article. Here's the actual video that I showed in my video. And this is what I said about it.
You could say, YouTube, if you want to come around with me for like a day and see what my life is like, then we can talk.
Like, I've done nothing wrong on YouTube.
And which is crazy because TikTok is even stricter, which is even crazy.
Yeah, I said TikTok I don't use, but I'm like,
I
I'm
do.
going to go on there to research, and I'm like, by the end of the day, YouTube needs to have a kick up the backside because there's a lot of people with disabilities, not just autism, but I know a lot of people with cerebral palsy who are on the platform. I know a lot of people who have other problems, and they get the same treatment that I've had. They get ignored, they get judged, name called, bullied, and it's disgusting. YouTube
And see, I have two nephews on the spectrum. One who's on one side, one who's on the other. One who's in college, one who will never see college.
Yeah.
You know? And, you know, and I think you and I have spoken about this before, that my nephew, he's nonverbal. I don't put out their names or anything like that. I just, I call them my nephews, which they are. But at the same time, you are helping me understand about autism way more than I could have ever known. And you
Yeah.
are such an excellent communicator, because I know when it comes to being autistic, communicating is very hard.
Yeah, it is. It's like people will have a dig at me a lot because they know that my eye contact is a major issue for me. And the amount of times in my comment section, every time I upload a video, every time, like within 10 minutes, half hour, I'll get three,
Right,
four,
Joy?
5 comments saying to me, why can't you look at the camera properly? What's wrong with you? Why can't you look at your screen? And I'm like,
Grab your back,
I've
Jonathan.
covered this topic so many times. I've said to people, look, I'm autistic. I have high functioning Asperger's. I've explained this topic so many times. I have limited eye contact because it physically and mentally drains me. And people are like, then why have your camera on? Because YouTube won't let you upload videos unless you have your camera on.
But why should you have to excuse yourself for anything?
Exactly.
Your channel. Why should you have to make excuses for anything? You shouldn't.
I shouldn't. But people want to pick a fight with me about anything.
Yeah,
It's
but-
like they'll pick on eye contact. They'll pick on the way I say things. I've had people tell me that I should speak slower or change my accent. I'm like, I'm English. Like, I'm speaking my own
This
language.
is what I would say. Just that simple. One
Is
finger.
You.
So
That's
it's,
what I.
It's not your issue, Gemma.
It's not. It's their issue.
I know that. It's like I've had like a few weeks ago. I had my local Elvis tribute on my channel, and I interviewed him live. I asked him about why he's an Elvis tribute. Da 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 da. I got slammed for that in my comment section once it uploaded. People were like, "Oh, you're taking advantage of a music act, and you're making him feel
What?
sorry for you." And I'm
You
like,
got to stop reading your side chat. Stop reading
I'm
your
like,
side chat.
I've turned it off. Like, it's my stream now. I turn my chat off. I can't do it. I'm just like, oh my
I
god.
believe they're doing it intentionally just to get to you.
Bullying. It's bullying.
It's bullying.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I got told that I was taking advantage of him. I got told that I was deliberately making him feel sorry for me. I got told that I was a fraud, a fake, and it was awful. It was
You
bad.
don't deserve any of that.
No.
I ended up putting the video on private. It was just the comments that I had were disgusting. I was just like, I can't be bothered with this, so I just put it on private. I was like, nope. It's just people just need to educate themselves. Like Lisa said, it's fear.
It's not that there are just ignorant. There are ignorant people out there, especially in my country, who like to just be ignorant for the shits and giggles of being ignorant.
Yeah,
Like-
oh yeah, it's the same over here in the UK too. There's a lot of people who are ignorant. I've done a lot of training over the years. I've done 6.5 years of training for hospital workers, police, teachers, psychological services, and I more good than bad. But there's been a bad few people where I've had comments saying, "Oh, are you really autistic or are you just mentally disturbed?" And I'm like,
Oh,
I've had comments like that thrown at me. I've had comments call me brain damage.
I'm sorry. That just like totally threw me into like I'm ready to fight for you.
Like, the UK is ignorant. It is. Like, we are very backwards when it comes to a lot of stuff like this, and unfortunately, I think that it's going to take a while to change it, especially with adults, especially females, because a lot of people go, "Well, autism's for boys. You're not a boy."
That is not true. Who said that?
I get it all the time. Like, my community. I've had
Oh my.
say like, "Well, you're not a boy. Like, you don't argue. You're not aggressive." And then I'm like, "Yeah, it shouldn't matter. I still have it. I'm still diagnosed.
You're not. Someone literally said to you, "You're not aggressive."
Yeah." Because that's one of the
These
main
are
traits
people
of
who-
boys is aggression.
do-
That's how they can tell.
You do understand these are just people who are trying to get under your skin.
Yeah. Oh God,
Okay.
yeah. I've had fights with doctors and stuff. I'm like, when I went into hospital.
I fight with doctors every single
I
day.
had a panic attack. It started at home. I thought that I was actually going to die. Like, I couldn't breathe. My throat closed up. I was sweating. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with me? Went to hospital. Had test after test after test. nothing came back, and the doctor's like, well, why are you still upset? I'm like, I don't know, you tell me what's wrong with me. Why do I feel like I'm dying? And the doctor was like, you're not dying, don't be so silly. And I was like, I don't feel well, I can't breathe, my head's banging, what the hell's wrong with me? And I ended up being in hospital for 8.5 hours on a heart machine.
Wow.
The scariest
I'm
thing I've ever
sorry.
done. It's just, they don't understand. It's ridiculous. And then the doctor was like, oh, as there's nothing wrong with you, we can't keep you in.
Joy Lang just hit the nail on the head. In America, as well as everybody else, honestly, they don't understand any kind of mental. They see physical. They can see physical.
Yeah.
But they don't understand the mental part of it. I mean, I deal with my own mental issues myself, and that comes down to A, body dysmorphia, and B, just everything that I'm going through on a consistent basis. And I have horrible, I can say this, body dysmorphia, where I used to be the person who would say, if I was thinner, things would just be easier. I'm thinner, and they're not easier at all. So
I think a lot of people have dysmorphia issues. I know a lot of people on the spectrum do have dysmorphia issues, and we get judged for the way we look or the way that we dress. Like I dress quite like a tomboy. I wear a lot of hoodies and baggy clothes. That's how I'm comfortable. And yet people
so do I.
Why
So
don't you
do
dress
I.
more female? Why don't you dress more girly? You're a woman. I'm like,
But do you not think
They're just people trying to get to you.
Do you not think that a lot of that is down to social media, and a lot of the people that we see, the celebrities, everything's filtered, everything's made to look like they are perfect, and so all these kids that are growing up are looking at these people thinking that that's how they look. They don't look
No,
like that.
no.
Yeah, it's all photoshopped and edited.
Absolutely.
It's all false reality. That's the problem. But people don't see that. They think, oh, you have to be picture perfect.
Can I say something real quick that has absolutely nothing to do with the subject we're talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know if either one of you have seen The New Crown, but I'm sorry, I cannot get over the fact that they made Charles way too handsome.
Yeah,
yeah, he was never that handsome.
I'm like, Charles never looked like that even on his best day.
No.
You know, he's the King of England. You know, he is who he is. But on his best day, he doesn't look as good as the guy does on...
Apparently, he has given his verdict on the guy who's playing him, and apparently he said that he's never seen such an accurate portrayal of him on film. Like,
I bet he did.
Apparently, I was watching recent, well, no, the program I'm on about. I was watching This Morning earlier, and they actually had the people from Netflix and some of the actors on the broadcast earlier, and they were saying about how pleased that Charles and Camilla are with their portrayals on.
I'm sure they are.
And
I'm sure they are.
Positivity is going to bring the royals, and they support it. And I'm like,
well, it's not putting Camilla in a good light. Just saying.
No. Do you know what I'm waiting for is to hear this whole book that Harry's bringing out.
Spare, isn't it what he calls it?
Oh yeah,
Spare.
Yeah.
See, Lisa knows I'm obsessed with the royals. I love everything about the royals.
I'm a big William and Kate fan myself. Like, I think they're more relevant than other people, and
absolutely, of course they are.
They've done a lot more good for people. So,
if you can't tell,
Kate's been in my hometown like 3 times in the last 2.5 years. She's a patron of my local hospital and children's hospice, so she comes to do a lot of speeches. And I've actually last time I briefly was able to see the side of her getting back into the car as I was coming out of work, and her car was outside waiting. She walked straight past me. I was like, damn.
And you know what Queen Bee just says here? Also, they don't understand the invisible disease as a whole. And that, I can say, is everything. Yeah. That's everything.
Yeah.
Because if you were to look at you You would say someone would say to you, if it wasn't for the eye contact, that you have an invisible disease. I'm told
Well, that's
every
the thing.
day.
That's the thing. I mean, if you were to go into a doctor's surgery because you've broken your leg, he'd go, yeah, I can see you've got a broken leg. We'll
Mhm.
fix that. We'll fix that.
Yeah.
How can they do that with something that it's very it's hard.
You
But
work
it's
with
still-
them.
but it's still the same. It's still the same. You
Do
go
you
in,
deal? Do you deal with
wanting to
doctors
fix
on a
the broken-
normal?
Yeah, it's the same thing. You have a broken leg. You want it fixed. You have a broken mind.
You want it fixed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
recently, like I've finally got my consultant's appointment to have my operation done on my wrist and my elbow, and it's taken me nearly 2 years to actually speak to somebody about it. I said to him, look, I'm in physical pain, I'm in mental pain, I'm autistic, I don't cope well with pain in general. I just want it to be over with. And the doctors have all told me, oh, the pain's in your head, there's no pain now. I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm in pain every day.
What? Oh my God, set me into a fire turmoil that I can never come back from. That a doctor would sit there and tell me that you're not in pain when I'm in pain. I want to be there for you.
Yeah.
I want to be there to be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
This is what you deal with, you motherfucker. Do the
Yeah,
fucking
but
right
now-
thing.
Where are you? Where are you in the UK?
I'm in Suffolk.
Oh, okay. So I'm in Devon. So
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
further down than me, yeah.
a little bit, yeah, quite close to Cornwall. So
Oh,
Yeah.
I love Cornwall. I've been there many times all day.
Cornwall's
Love it.
amazing, beautiful, yeah.
See, Lisa and I believe that we are related. I believe it too.
I do truly, I do.
And my mom's like, well, we are from Cork. I'm like, so is she.
Yes, I am. Yeah, all my family.
We both have red hair, blue eyes.
Yeah,
We're like narrowing it down.
we've got to be. It has to be. It has to be.
Yeah, Queen Bee says she has chronic inflammatory condition due to her Lyme disease. Ouch!
I have Lyme, but honest to God, my Lyme came out in a weird way.
It took 11 doctors to diagnose you. Wow, I'm sorry. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
That's
And this is the bullshit.
insane.
And you guys can hate on me if you want to, but this is where we're going as well, is socialist medicine, where everybody, like for instance, I go to my hospital, I'm waiting 36 hours for a bed. What are you guys waiting? I mean, I know that you guys go through days in an ER, days without seeing doctors, months without seeing doctors. And we have what you call privatized insurance, which is supposed to pay for what we're not getting, and we're losing that. I mean, and that's why I got so stuck in the hallway for 36 hours, puking. Thankfully, not in the right mind to completely know what I was actually thinking during that time. Just all I can remember was make the spinning stop. That's all I can remember. Because I was spinning.
That's like last year. My dad is a builder, and my dad was on a job working on a house, and the top 2 floors collapsed on him when he was trying to fix something in the roof. The roof collapsed, and he went tumbling down 3 floors, landed on his head and his back, and he literally missed paralyzing himself by about this much because he managed to hit a brick on the wall where his clothes got caught, and luckily there was a nail there, so he was left hanging on this wall for a couple of hours, so his friend noticed him. By the time they got him to hospital, he was waiting over 10 hours for a bed. He couldn't stand up. They had to have him seated in a wheelchair. And it was awful. It was not good.
And privatized medicine here is becoming that. So I'm like, I don't know as a country where we are, where we stand, where we're going. I have no idea. It's very scary in this country right now. Very scary.
It's scary here too. Like, I wish that people would wake up to how.
You guys have had what, 8 prime ministers?
Oh my god, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
the NHS here is so understaffed and understretched. Like they are at breaking point. I think it's so upsetting because it doesn't work. The NHS is so far not being supported, and they wonder why patients are complaining. Well, yeah, because we're not.
And
being
see,
supported.
in America, we keep putting somebody in power like Nancy Pelosi. Do you know who she is?
Yeah, I'm
No.
aware of who she is.
She's the crypt keeper. She is in real life the crypt keeper.
Okay.
She is horrendous. She's awful. Now, mind you, I probably have, which I am normally, I would say I'm pretty much dead center when it comes to political. I'm neither one side to the left side or to the right side. But I find politics right now in every world, yours, mine, and India, and China, and Russia, scary as shit. Scary as shit.
I agree.
That's all.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It scares.
It's so hard. It's like Lisa will probably agree with me that, like, especially in the UK, everything just seems so much more heightened and worse than what it used to be. Like,
Oh, for sure. For sure.
it's changed so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
It has. I agree with you completely. Yeah, totally.
Especially
And
like getting for treatment and
See,
stuff.
I love you both, and you're both are from the UK, so I'm sure that you guys are just doing fine. Oh, hi, Nancy Drew. Welcome. We're just kind of talking here, talking about wellness
Like,
and what keeps us well.
I'm proud of who we are, like, as people, but our country is not in a good place right now. And I think
No, it's not.
it
No.
upsets me because we used to be proud to say we're Great Britain, we're a great nation, and right now I can't say that I'm proud of being Great Britain. I'm not. I think
Totally
that
agree. Totally
UK
agree
is
with you,
not
Gemma.
great.
There's no difference in American people either.
It's
There
No, but I
really
agree
isn't.
with her. I agree with her. I mean, at the moment, we have a completely unelected prime minister who is just. Oh, I think
he's
Do
a
you-
weasel. He's a
Do
weasel.
you guys know who Dr. Oz is?
No.
No.
Okay, so Dr. Oz was a daytime talk show kind of person. Oprah gave him his debut, and he started running for Pennsylvania Republican Senate, when everybody knew you're not a Republican. Everybody knew you weren't a Republican, but you moved to a state that you never lived in. You move into your grandma's basement where you can say that you have an address.
Yeah.
And yet the guy who had a stroke a couple months ago was better than Dr. Oz. It's
That-
insane.
That's
Here, this guy can't keep a complete thought in his head. And I understand that and I respect it for what it is. But you don't go running for state senate and being in the House of Senators in the United States when you physically cannot think for yourself.
no.
It's insane. At least I could say Oz may have a brain of his own, but Fetterman, no. He's not thinking clearly. And that's like, I to all my friends who in Pennsylvania, Godspeed, because that's not going to be a good situation at all. But that's just me. So, I'm thinking about closing down because I'm not feeling so fantastic. Is that
Oh.
okay?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, the girls had the flu, and I'm really afraid it is like tapping on the back of my neck right now.
Yeah. No.
Oh, you feel better, lovely.
Yeah. I hope you.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah. Me
No, Gemma, we've been talking about this for so long.
I know we have, yeah.
We've been talking about this for maybe a year. And I'm like,
Yeah,
no. Today's the day. Today's it.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you got to meet Lisa because she is
Yeah,
my
I've known
favorite
Lisa
Brit.
before. I've seen her on streams with you and stuff, so I know who Lisa
Yeah, it was
is.
lovely. It was really lovely to speak with you, Gemma.
Is
Really
isn't
You
lovely.
too,
she?
Lisa. You're always
Isn't
welcome on my channel anytime.
Oh, bless you. I will. I will.
and Gemma? Thank you for coming on and just explaining what's in your head. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be putting out a video tomorrow. Lisa actually did touch on the topic earlier about the different levels of autism. I found this article on a psychology website, and it talks about autism being renamed as profound autism. And yeah, I've written 2 pages of A4 notes, which I'm going to be ranting about tomorrow.
Good for you. It needs to happen, Gemma. Honestly, I totally agree with you. It needs to happen because people they're so ignorant.
And horrible and nasty.
Fine. Just open your mind a little bit. That's all that needs to happen, is just to open your mind a little bit and understand. Try and understand.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've actually got a video upcoming about celebrities who are on the Cure Autism bandwagon. Recently, there was a video done by Robert De Niro, which really upset me. And he basically said that he has a autistic grandson and he wants to cure him and fix him because he is disordered. And that really upset me. I'm like, what the fuck are you on about?
Not heard about.
Those celebrities. Celebrities are tone deaf, though.
There's other people like him who join on the bandwagon. There's Jim Carrey. He's another one because he has an autistic son called Evan with his ex-wife Jenny McCarthy.
That's not his son, though. That's not his son.
It is.
It's not his son. She had that with her previous husband. That is not his son.
He called him his son on an interview recently. He said his son Evan has autism.
Is this Jenny McCarthy's son?
Yeah.
It's not his son. He may call him son, but it's not his son.
I was convinced he was because he kept saying my son on a recent interview. He's like,
all right, hold on. I'm pulling this up only because I swear to you, I do not think that it's his son. That's the only reason. I believe that was her son. She thought she could fix him.
Yeah, she's written books about it. It's ridiculous.
Right. Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah. She's
Jenny
part
McCarthy.
She's part of a autism charity called Generation Rescue, who partnered with WWE a couple of years ago, and they've joined the Let's Cure Autism bandwagon. I called WWE out on a video not that long ago, and I said,
her husband's or the father's name is Evan Joseph Asner.
Okay.
He was born on May 18th, 2002, and was diagnosed with autism.
Yeah.
So that's the father of Jenny McCarthy's son. That's why I was like, that's not his son.
Okay.
It's weird that he said that.
Yeah, because Jim Carrey's been noted in numerous interviews calling Evan his son. He's like, yeah, I have a son who's autistic. I'm like, huh?
That's crazy. Yeah. All right, I have to kill out here, guys. I'm losing it. Hey, I lasted an hour and a half.
You did.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. It's lovely to speak to you.
Gemma, I'm so glad. Lisa, I'm so glad you came up.
Oh,
Matthew, I see you're in the back there, but we are getting ready to shut down, and I'm not feeling so good.
Feel better, Ginger.
Yeah.
I will. You too. I love you to death. You both know that.
Love you too, Ginger. Love you, Lisa.
Love you. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Take care, guys. Love you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye.